Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and it is time to immerse ourselves in the lore of Elder Scrolls. We're going to be looking at the book in Skyrim called The Great War. This is arguably my favorite book in the entire game, and I know we play games for just that, the game, but I highly recommend, if you haven't, that you sit down and give the books in Skyrim a read. They really bring the universe around you to life. Anyway, as I stated, today we're going to be talking about Skyrim Special Edition and how when I was playing it, I picked up on what could allude to the future of the Elder Scrolls timeline, aka Elder Scrolls 6. To summarize the Great War, which I will have linked in the description down below for you to read at your own leisure or if you want to do some more research yourself. Anyway, the Empire and Thalmor army went head to head for a long while. After the Battle of the Red Ring, which took place in Cyrodiil and was the final battle of the Great War, Emperor Titus II believed it was necessary to make peace with the Thalmor army despite the victory they had recently had over them, since the Imperial army was left in no condition to continue fighting. The agreement, known as the White Gold Concordat, resulted in the banning of the worship of the god Talos, as well as the cession of a large section of southern Hammerfell. Picking up in Skyrim, this is why we have Stormcloaks, who formed in response to what they viewed as a weak decision by the Emperor and wanted Ulfric Stormcloak to take over the reins of the Empire and lead them on a more stronger path. In the epilogue of the Great War, it states that Hammerfell refused to accept the agreement, which led to additional conflict for 5 more years between the Redguards and the Thalmor. It ended in a standstill, but the Redguards believed that if the Emperor held his ground and teamed up with the Redguards, that they would have stomped out the Thalmor. Now, Tamriel is left in a state of fragile peace as armies of all sides recover for what is likely a giant upcoming battle. At this point in the Elder Scrolls timeline, Hammerfell and the Empire have not made peace, and I could see a future conflict and storyline building up there. Now, as I have talked about in the past, there has been a game set in Hammerfell called The Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard, but this is a game no one's really going to talk about as it was released in 1998. I'm not saying it doesn't count, I'm not saying it's a terrible game, I'm just saying that I don't think this is a game that will influence the possibility of another Elder Scrolls entry taking place in Hammerfell. And with the state of the Great War right now, where you have the southern section of Hammerfell separated from the rest of Hammerfell, it could lead to a similar conflict like in Skyrim, where there was the civil war between the Empire and the Stormcloaks. Moving into Hammerfell, you could see a similar issue with the northern and southern sections of Hammerfell. On top of that, there is the luring threat of the Thalmor army striking back yet again as they want to have dominance of all of Tamriel. And then the political issue between the Empire and Hammerfell. I think this entire conflict could lead to an interesting storyline within the Elder Scrolls 6 if this is the next place it's set. We haven't had a numbered entry set in Hammerfell, and we do see plenty of Redguards going in and out of Skyrim. There was also the hint at possible Redguard DLC in Skyrim, which a lot of people had speculated about, but for me personally, I think the biggest hint of a storyline is here in this book, where the epilogue takes place describing the current state of Hammerfell and how things are while we're playing in Skyrim. And I wanted to share that with you guys today, get your thoughts on this, get the lore freaks involved, and hear what they have to say about this. So, as always, leave your comments down below on today's topic. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are, as always, in the description down below. Check out SugarBomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.